Hi, and welcome to the Dawn Show. Dawn Stensland-Menti here. We're talking about pathways for exceptional children. What does that mean? Well, what it means first is you are going to meet a mom on a mission who pays it forward and helps all kinds of kids, thousands of kids, find their true self. Melinda Janis is the president and co-founder of Pathways for Exceptional Children. It's so good to have you here, Melinda.
Thanks. Thanks for having us.
So Pathways for Exceptional Children, first of all, why did you start this organization?
Well, I have two children. One of them has multiple disabilities, and I realized as soon as he started to come up and tried to get involved in different things, he was excluded from many things. And not just because people didn't necessarily know what to do with him and didn't really want him there, but also because he didn't know what to do. And so I started it really to start to change the whole perspective of disability and inclusion.
So what happened next? So your son, you're in, and I think for every parent, for whatever reason you feel your child might be left out of something,
right.
It's a horrifying feeling and you feel alone. And so what you had to do was, a lot of people will look to plug into something, right. But what's awesome about you is you created something that other parents and mostly kids could plug into.
Right. And I think what's great about it is it really has shown everybody the power of one person and one idea, because people get very overwhelmed when they think of inclusion and how do you get, through the anti-bullying and everything that's going on. And what we did was just one idea, one person, and it started with one program with 14 kids, 3 through 5 years of age, and 14 mentors.
And we're going to be showing throughout some of the photos of the kids, and you see a lot of smiles. What's your mission? We see that you actually have a mission statement.
Well, we really are not about, we started out being about disability, and then the kids actually came up to me, mentors and everyone, and said, listen, you're talking about inclusion. That means that you need to include us too. We're not in the mission. And I said, you're right, so it needs to be about all abilities, and so we changed our mission, and it's really about children of all abilities, and it's about their passion. We don't really concentrate on disabilities or what children cannot do. We really focus on their potential and their gifts and their strengths. And every child has them. No matter how disabled, they have them. And so what we try to do is try to find those things, and we really try to help them to excel at those and give them the tools and give them kind of a children teaching children model, because children do better learning from children.
Yes.
I mean, my son, he was spent so much time in therapies and with teachers and adults, and when I put him with other children, he just took off. And that was the thing, was he wanted to be like them. Here I am, I always say to the kids, I'm 50 some odd years old. You don't want to dress like me or look like me. You want to be like the kid that's next to you. And they're no different. And they excelled when they had other children with them.
And how's your son doing now?
He's great. I mean, when you take a look at where he started from, being completely excluded from almost anything. And he was so afraid to even walk on a field because it was just so overwhelming. Sports was overwhelming. Everything was overwhelming to him. And now, just recently, this last week, he walked on the high school football and started to play football with the kids there. And he's right with the team, suited up with the team.
He's not a water boy, he's on the team.
He is not a water boy, he is part of the team. And what's great about it is the way that the kids have included him on that team. And he's playing the drills, he's part of those drills. And what's great about it is that I think, it's like the coach said, I said, thank you for having him here and including him. And he said, listen, he's doing more for us than we're doing for him.
Oh, which is, what a great coach too,
It's true.
Let's talk about your vision, because you have some specific points that you make, that you say, I want to hit these things. What is your vision statement?
I kind of look at Pathways as, one of my heroes is Steve Jobs, and Martin Luther King, and those leaders that redefined the world. And they took something a perception that people have, and they changed it completely. And I guess my goal and my vision is to change that perception and to have children take what they want to do in their life and become very passionate about what they want, and to take that to redefine the world and not take everything the way that people say it should be, but to take it beyond that. And I think the rock band is such an example of that. And I won't steal the fire away from the other kids coming on, because it's really theirs.
Yeah, we're going to show who the famous
really
band they got to meet.
The
we're going to
rock
show you
band
some fun
is really
stuff.
theirs. But who would have dreamt that we started with kids with special needs and kids without, with not even an instrument to our name and not a dime that we could put toward it. And this last summer, on July 25th, we were with the Jonas Brothers on the PNC stage performing with them. Who would have ever thought? You know?
It's amazing.
And it redefined their level of thinking to where people think, well, if we're really inclusive and we have people with disabilities with us, then that will take us down. And it's done nothing but bring them up. And in fact, I have to say that some of the kids on the rock band with disabilities have now surpassed the ones without disabilities, and they're actually the leaders in the band and the most talented. So who would have thought?
Well,
You know,
I mean, I think you
it
thought
redefined everything.
But I think you thought it, and that's the amazing thing. You said the power of one person, but it's the power of love and a mother's love. I mean, that's why I celebrate you. We're going to let you take a victory lap, you know, really. But this came about because you love your son, and you looked around and you said, there's nothing for my son. And you said, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do this for my kid and all the other kids. Am I right?
Well, I think there's nothing worse for a child than to feel lonely, you know. And he needed that. And I can't, you know, now you're going to get me crying. But he really needed that. And part of his development was, so I saw him the second that mentors started to get involved and started to understand. Of course, we train the mentors too, and that helps because you really, you know, we've seen how mentors that aren't trained or have not gone through our formalized training, they're at a loss. But when the kids are trained to come out there, they know what to expect, they understand it, we set the goals, we set the mission, we tell them what our values are, and I think that we set that passion toward them to aim toward those types of things as far as what they do when they get out onto the fields or wherever they're going to go. And we really encourage kids to come to us with their passions too. So we go out there and we say to people, and I think that this isn't just with people with disabilities, but it's for all kids. When I go out and speak in school assemblies, one of the things that I see is I'll say to the kids, you know, what are your passions? And they all sit there and look at me like, well, I don't really have one. I'm just trying to get my GPA. I'm trying to put my resume together. I'm trying to get into college. And they're already on that rat race.
So you're helping them find that passion.
And I help them find that passion.
Hold that thought. We're going to talk about your values, and you're going to meet Jessica, one of the mentors, and we're going to see that Jonas Brothers video. It's inspiring. When the Dawn Show continues.